I'm Ronald Sampson, Vice Chairman Technical of the 15th Electronic Insulation Conference. It gives me great pleasure to introduce one of the prize-winning papers of the 1981 conference. The paper was presented by Richard V. Edwin, Senior Project Manager for PCK Technology Division of Kohl-Morgan Corporation, and is entitled Past, Present, and Future of Printed Circuit Board Technology.
Today, printed wiring is used everywhere. It is the main building block of any electronic system. As far as we can see, its popularity is expected to continue growing for at least the next 5 years. Printed wiring constituted over 2.5% of the cost of all electronic equipment in the U.S. in 1979, and it's expected to grow by 1984 to more than 3.5% of the total value of U.S. electronic shipments. This situation is reflected in the size of the U.S. market for printed wiring boards, which in 1980 was estimated to be in excess of $2.5 billion. It is forecasted by Gnostic Concepts that it will double by 1984 and be over $5 billion. A chart showing this forecast growth for electronics, integrated circuits, and printed wiring is shown in this first slide. And a forecast of the market board by type is shown in the next slide. In addition to this table, shows the ratio of high-density printed wiring to total printed wiring and the projected growth of printed wiring as a percentage of total electronics. U.S. printed wiring shipments in 1981, by most projections, were expected to increase about 7.5% in dollar value and little or none in board volume. The increase for 1982 is forecast at 16% over 1981 board value. In spite of flat overall sales in 1981, an increase of 30% in multi-layer shipment value is expected. Just over 50% of multi-layers are the 4-layer type, while those with more than 9 layers represent less than 10% of the market. A few denser and more complex boards are manufactured, but these are not typical. Epoxy fiberglass is the predominant laminate, accounting for about 80% of total area shipped. Composites are holding steady at 14%, and paper-based laminates are declining, holding only 4% of total area. Thin foil, high performance, and additive laminates account for the remaining sales, which are less than 2%. One of the reasons for such extensive use of printed wiring boards, which makes them the most universal interconnection method. One of the reasons is the exponential growth of component terminals to be interconnected. According to Gnostic Concepts, in 1970, a total of 37 billion terminals had to be interconnected. In 1978, we crossed the 100 billion mark, and in 5 years from that time, or by 1983, we will double this number again. The lion's portion, over 90% of these, will be integrated circuit terminals. That precipitous growth is certainly caused by the rapid introduction of LSI and microprocessors, each requiring more and more terminals per package. And again, 90% of all component terminations are made on printed circuit boards, guaranteeing their growth, but also placing strain on this technology. A very important factor in favor of printed wiring boards is that they are extremely well suited for present assembly and testing methods. An entire fast-growing automatic insertion and automatic testing industry is based on the form factors of printed